Hello friends, glad to be back after a long time. Today I am going to talk about When I'm an Old Lady by Joanne Bailey Baxter. This poem is a very easy and an interesting poem, and the readers are meant to take this poem on a light and humorous tone. I'm sure you are going to enjoy this poem and also the easy explanation of this poem. So before I head straight on into the poem, I would like to discuss the themes that is predominant in this poem. The poem is not only humorous but it is also instructive. Here, the mother speaks of acting like kids in her old age, and also on the other hand, it describes the different activities of the children. It shows the dependent nature of the human beings. The old age, which is the second childhood of human beings, how people depend on their children for support, love, affection, and any kind of assistance. So the poem has the primary theme of parenthood and childhood. It is in this theme, when I'm discussing about this theme, it depicts the various experiences of or denotes the various experiences of the parenthood and childhood. The poet has beautifully explored the behavior of the kids, as she mentioned the different acts or activities of naughtiness that the mother plans to do when she becomes old. So she convinces us of the fact that it is not an easy task to bear the irritating acts of kids when the children are not listening to you, in spite of the fact you are repeatedly telling them not to do. It is the love of the parents that we, the readers, must understand, that allows the parents to tolerate such acts of naughtiness and even smile at these happenings, because somewhere or the other the parents would miss if the children did not you can tell commit such acts. Second is the nature of the children. The nature of every child is carefully depicted in this poem. The naughtiness and the innocence of the children are described in a very humorous way, because we understand this when you will read the entire poem. You will see how the mother is trying to portray this. The poet has not only referred to the nature of the children by directly pointing at them, but it is in an interesting way that she talks about this by putting herself imaginatively in their place, and imagines doing such acts like children teasing their parents, just as the parent, the mother, that is the poet herself, is going to do in the case of her children. So in this way, the minute description of the children, as I was just telling earlier, and the child psychology is depicted quite clearly. Next is the third theme, the dependency of the family relations. In fact, you can tell this is another important theme coming, though I have discussed third in point for parenthood and childhood. So this is another thing that you must keep in mind, the dependency of the family relations. The institution of family, where each individual is dependent on the other, that shows the intricate balance and the need of the fulfillment of the emotions, and the not only emotions but emotional but also the physical needs of each and every family member, be it the children or the parents. So the dependency is shown quite clearly here. This dependency is something that is reversed in the case of old age of the parents. The children depend on their parents when they are young, and in case of old age, it is the parents who depend on their children. So not only are their physical abilities diminish, where just happens in the case, the opposite happens in the case of the children. So the physical abilities of the parents diminish with every passing age. So this is what brings us to the end of the discussion of the themes, and you must keep in mind that they are very important while discussing about all of the poems, all of the lines when you are analyzing them. So this is something before I wanted to share with you before I head straight on into the poem. When I'm an old lady, I'll live with each kid and bring so much happiness just as they did. I want to pay back all the joy they've provided, returning each deed. Oh, they'll be so excited when I'm an old lady and live with my kids. So that is the primary thing that she plans to do. The children have or had brought her so much of happiness when they were young that she simply cannot. It is, yes, it is first of all humorous, and it is also, you feel that she wants to pay back for their kindness. It is a great gesture that the children have shown towards her by fulfilling her life, by fulfilling her emotional needs. So it is a kind of gratitude that she wishes to show towards the children. These lines are very simple. That is the reason I've not gone into the minute details. So as and when I explain, I'm sure you're going to understand them. So she wants to pay back all the joy that they have provided and paying them for each and every deed. So when you hear that pay back each and every deed, you wonder that whether there is a tone of revenge there. But no, it is not the case. It is meant to be taken in a light-hearted manner. I'll write on the walls with reds, whites and blues, and bounce on the furniture wearing my shoes. I'll drink from the carton and then leave it out. I'll stuff all the toilets, and oh, how they'll shout when I'm an old lady and live with my kids. So this is what she plans to do. So when she becomes old, when she turns to be an old lady, she will write on the walls. She will scribble on the walls just like children do with numerous colors, and then she will dance or bounce on the furniture wearing my shoes. That means she will wear the shoes and start jumping on the bed. I am sure most of my readers when they were young must have done some amount of the other. So it is a kind of act that every one of you can relate, isn't it? So I'll drink from the carton and then leave it out. Yes, this is something that most children do. Even I did, drinking from the bottle and then keeping it open. Like not very young, otherwise I wouldn't have remembered. But I remember doing that, and in on top of that, my parents have added on to it. So basically, you can imagine that this poem is for everyone. Everyone can read and relate to it. But this is something that the poet Joanne Bailey Baxter desires to do when she is old, and she will stuff all the toilets and they'll shout. Just imagine stuffing all the toilets. That means what? The water will not drain out, the floor of the toilet will flood, and slowly it will start pouring out of the bathroom. Then what will happen? It will be total mess. So they'll shout. The children, many children do. Have you seen that movie? What was that name of that movie? Home Alone. Yes, Home Alone. You remember how those thieves clogged the mouths of the sinks? That means what? It would totally flood the place. So that is something that is not only irritating, but it is also, on the other hand, enjoyable for the children. So when I am an old lady and live with my kids, she will do all this, and she repeats this line towards the end. When they are on the phone and just out of reach, I'll get into things like sugar and bleach. Oh, they'll snap their fingers and shake their head. So probably when the children are talking on the phone, the mother and when they cannot easily run and catch her, that means that is they are out of reach, what will she do? She will get into things. She will smear herself with things like sugar and bleach. They do not get away easily from your body, because sugar, after some time, it tends to become sticky, and bleach is, oh my god, it's very harmful. So something that is very not desirable and something that is harmful, she will smear herself with all those things. Not only will she do that, probably she will mix and match them up so that you cannot distinguish one from the other. Just imagine, my god. Oh, they'll snap their fingers and shake their head. Just imagine, they'll be cracking their fingers out of angry and showing angry expressions and just shake their head that, oh my god, what a mess have you created and what trouble you have landed us in. Okay, so this is it. Now we will move on to the next part. And And when that is done, I'll hide under the bed when I'm an old lady and live with my kids. So whenever you were young and you feared getting scolded, getting scolding from your parents, what did you do? Probably you hid in some corner of the room or some under the bed if the provision was there, or somewhere where you thought probably your parents couldn't reach you, isn't it? So that is what this mother also plans to do, that she will hide under the bed when they come to scold her. When they cook dinner and call me to eat, I'll not eat my green beans or salad or meat. I'll gag on my okra, spill milk on the table, and then get angry. And when they get angry, I'll run if I'm able. When I'm an old lady and live with my kids. So they'll cook dinner, and when they call her to eat, probably there will be vegetables like okra, green beans, salad, and meat. Most children are, and even in fact in case of, if you be take it consider in case of old people, meat is not very easy for them to eat because of loss of teeth and all these things most of the time. I'm not sure of the medical these things, history or the theories that are related to it, but this is my personal observation, so I'm telling. Then in case of meat and green beans and salads, when you see that someone is eating delicious food, probably richly cooked or something, and just because you are old and your diet or your digestive system is not going to permit so much of richness or variety of foods, you generally tend to stick to a simple schedule and something you do not enjoy. And in case of children, they absolutely hate vegetables, so most of the time they'll probably shirk away from it. They will pinch their nose and run away from it, and you have to run after them, especially in case of okra, green beans, green vegetables and all. And in fact milk, if you give them milk, that is it. You must have seen a number of ads and in social media also, how children make a fuss over milk. So all these things will ultimately affect the old woman's, that is our poet's behavior, because she is going to repeat exactly the same thing. So it is again one, I am reminding, it is not vindictive in nature, it is a kind meant to be taken on a humorous tone, in a humorous way. She wants to tell that how difficult it is for the parents to bring the children up. It is not very easy. You are not eating, if you do not eat milk, all these healthy foods, green vegetables, green beans, salads and all these things, so how are you going to grow up? How are your bones going to get nourished? How are you going to develop into a stronger being? That is not possible. So you don't eat, your parents are naturally concerned, you will feel hungry, again they will feed you, again you will start running. So this is really a matter of great tension, and that is what she tries to show. Okay, I hope I've been able to make you understand. Now let's move on to the next parts. I'll sit close to the TV. Through the channels, I'll click. I'll cross both eyes just to see if they stick. Okay, so this is something very funny and interesting. She plans to sit close to the TV. As she changes and clicks the channels, then she will not only sit in front, but she will also cross her eyes, means bring the eyeballs towards her nose, both of them, and see whether the channel stops scrolling, whether the things that are happening on the TV, the movements, whether they stop or not. That means just imagine how much stress she is going to put on her eyes. The children also do that, sitting in front of the TV and all these things, banging on the TV screen. Oh my god. I'll take off my socks and throw one away and play in the mud till the end of the day. So with one sock on her feet, on her foot, she will run out into the mud and probably dance there and play there. So all these things she had already mentioned, that once it permits her to run and all these things, she will do each and every one of them. It is not that she will do each and every activities that she mentions here, as she has mentioned in the previous stanza also. See, when they get angry, I'll run if I'm able. That means her capacity, her ability to run and do all these naughty things also is an important factor. She will play in the mud till the end of the day, make a total mess just like children do, smearing themselves in mud and all these things, and then come back home when I'm an old lady and live with my kids. Yes, you can tell these lines as appearing as a kind of refrain. You can safely conclude that way. And later in bed, I'll lay back and sigh. I'll thank God in prayer and then close my eyes. My kids will look down with a smile, slowly creeping, and say with a groan, "She's so sweet when she is sleeping." So finally, the day comes to a close, and it is time for the poet to go back to sleep. In case of children also, you can tell that they finally fall asleep at the end of the day's activities and naughtiness. I'll thank God in prayer and then close my eyes. She will pray to God and then fall asleep. My kids will look down with a smile, slowly creeping. So the kids will laugh, smiling, not laugh exactly, smiling slowly, and then say with a groan, means finally, oh thank God, this kind of an expression. And they will tell, "She's so sweet when she is sleeping." So in this kind of a groan, it is not only the relief that is being expressed by the children, but also you can tell that this full of life, full of activity of the mother will be missed at night when she is sleeping. Same thing happens with the children. If you see a child just very quiet, calm, not behaving in that, because child symbolizes life, full of activity, full of vitality. So when that vitality is missing to certain extent, due to some reason or the other, you feel a little sad, isn't it? So that is what is also expressed in this line. More that, though that is the second meaning, the first meaning is that they will finally be relieved, that thank God she is not making any more mess. So finally they are relieved. Okay, so that brings us to this end of the poem. I'm sure you're going to enjoy this poem and laugh your hearts out, and you will be reminded of number of naughty memories that you must have created. So enjoy this poem. Happy reading, happy learning. Share this poem, the video, and like and subscribe, because we are still heading towards our goal slowly and steadily, and you, the viewers, can only help us in that direction. So the more you like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell button and all these formalities, as I mention in I try to mention, in fact, in every video. So, and you can in fact be a proud member of our one stop all poetry solution, because we are soon going to incorporate and develop and grow much more. I'm aiming for that direction, so help us, and you grow, we also grow together, isn't it? So thank you for watching this video. Hope you will like it, and until we meet again, take care.